It may be 2 weeks before I see a ball get kicked, but planning is well underway for the year ahead. Welcome to 2025 to 2026 on the channel. Roll new titles. Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been 3 weeks, I've now had my little break and I'm not going to lie, I am ready just to be making a bit of content again. Obviously, it is going to be another couple of weeks or so before we can actually get back out there and start watching matches again, but talk videos are now well and truly back, so I'll be making quite a few of these to keep you occupied over the next few weeks or so over various things. Obviously, at some point, once a new manager is appointed, we are going to have a little bit of a chat about what's going on at Gateshead. Then obviously it'll be the annual top five teams to watch in particular leagues videos. Obviously, those videos can be a little bit hit and miss with the reactions to them. Some people seem to get the impression that they're almost predictions videos, but obviously that's not quite the case. But the reason of this particular video is to just sort of maybe outline my intentions for the channel for this coming season, and we'll start from the very start as usual, and that is of course with pre-season. Now obviously at this moment in time, I can't put dates to any specific games beyond the month of July, because the overwhelming majority of fixture lists throughout the whole Europe aren't even out yet. I think Poland's are out, Denmark's are out, and Italy's are out. But other than that, without the ones domestically, particularly in the National League, I can't really plan anything as such. But obviously, once the National League fixtures are out, I'll do a reaction video to them. But let's have a little bit of a look now at what my plan is for pre-season. And I think I've got a pretty much finalised schedule. There might be one or two changes here and there, but the 2025 to 2026 season will be getting underway on Tuesday the 1st of July with AFC Burndon and New Fordley versus Newcastle Benfield. Now the 1st of July seems to be something of a good omen for myself. If I start my season on that particular day of the year, you'll obviously started it on the 1st of July in 2023 to 2024. The Gateshead went and won the FA Trophy. 2021 to 22, Gateshead went on to win the league, plus that FA Cup run. And the 1 year where before I had my channel where I started it was 2017. On the 1st of July was 2017 to 2018, and by the end of that season, Motherwell had made it to two cup finals. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things that served me well, and fingers crossed it can do just the same this year. But we will be starting in the far north end of Newcastle with AFC Burndon and New Fordley versus Newcastle Benfield. It'll be an interesting game, that one. Obviously, New Fordley coming up against Northern League Division 1 opposition, but obviously a very formidable force in the Northern Lions, having gone the whole of last season unbeaten in the league. So yeah, it should be a good matchup, that one. Then the following night, it is my first ever visit to Earl's Orchard, which the fact I haven't been there previously is nothing short of a disgrace on my behalf, isn't it? Given how close I live to it, and that is for Richmond Town versus Northallerton Town. I believe that is one of those like pre-season cups. Obviously, like this time of year, you'll get like certain games played in particular people's memories and that kind of thing. I think that's what's going on here, but nevertheless, excited to visit Earl's Orchard for the first time and watch a game under the castle. And on the first Saturday game of the season is Saturday the 5th of July, and it is Northallerton Town once again, and they are taking on Harrogate Railway Athletic in the custody of Harry Croft ladder match. But yeah, I think as per usual with pre-season, I'm not gonna be doing the hard miles just yet. I think over the course of the season, when I do various European trips, obviously a lot like there's some long journeys ahead for Gateshead this season. It goes without saying. Obviously down to Cornwall to face True Road. Obviously Yeovil, Forest Green, those kinds of games. But I'll get on to Gateshead specifically in a little bit. But on Tuesday the 8th, it is the return of Gateshead, and it is the annual trip to Hebburn Town, which I always enjoy. Really lovely setup at Hebburn, like great food, great clubhouse. It's always an enjoyable night, that one, so looking forward to that. Then Friday the 11th, it is a ground that we've not yet done on a channel, and I think it is high time we did, and it is Morpeth Town, and they are taking on the Scottish Lowland League side Caledonian Braves. So yeah, I'm going to be totally honest. All in all, I'm not a huge fan of pre-season. I guess it is just something to get you out of the house and that kind of thing. But I do quite like it when games like this that you wouldn't get otherwise do crop up. So it should be it should be an enjoyable trip up to Northumberland for that one. Then the next day it is the first double header of the season, and at 12:30 that day it is what is now the annual game between Gateshead and Sunderland. Obviously Sunderland in the Premier League for this coming season, which I'll get onto in a bit. Then at 3 p.m, once again, we're watching Newcastle Benfield actually, and we are going to Sam Smith's Park, a ground that we've not visited on this channel in a very long time. I think it was the first ever season, which was, I think now kind of known as the COVID season. I think that was the last time I went there, and they are taking on the Scottish Lowland League side Berwick Rangers, of course. Berwick being a Tweed mouth still going, but either way, like one of, if not the only, English side playing within the Scottish League system. So again, a pretty unique fixture. Then on Tuesday the 15th, it is the clash of the YouTube channels almost, isn't it? My team versus Adam Gittins' team. It is Gateshead versus Doncaster Rovers. We had a little bit of a laugh and a joke about that when when that friendly was announced. You almost couldn't write it, really, could you? Then on Friday the 18th, it is, I think it's probably going to be the longest journey that I'm making this pre-season. It is over to maybe the far end of West Yorkshire for Silsden versus Curzon Ashton. So a ground that I've not done yet, but I've looked into the logistics of it, and it is highly doable. So yeah, I'm just going to go for it that night. Then the next day, Saturday the 19th, it is Blythe Town versus Gateshead. I've not been to Blythe Town on this channel yet, so again, another one that it's kind of overdue for us to a run that's kind of overdue for us to put an end to. Then Tuesday the 22nd, Newton Aycliffe versus Darlington. Again, like we've not been to Newton Aycliffe yet on this channel, and given how close it is high time that we do change that. We're going to do just that night, Saturday the 26th. Is it really annual, given it didn't happen last year, but it is the Dunstan UTS versus Gateshead, and that like those four games, obviously Silsden, Blythe Town, Newton Aycliffe and Dunstan, that is actually 4 games in a row going to Northern Premier League East Division grounds, a league that I think we probably will be seeing quite a bit of on this channel this season, given the amount of local teams that are in it. Then rounding off pre-season on Tuesday the 29th of July with Spennymoor Town versus Gateshead, which I'm looking forward to. Do enjoy a trip to Spenny. Like the food there last season was absolutely cracking, but in general it is one of my favourite non-league grounds within the northeast area. So yeah, there should be a good way to round off pre-season. I know on top of that there is still another weekend of pre-season games. I know Gateshead are away to Darlington on the 2nd of August, but I won't be able to do that. That is due to a prior engagement, which kind of leads me into the next segment of this video, which is, of course, my plan for Gateshead, and it's quite basic, really. Like how many games will I get to? Well, the answer to that question is as many as I can. Like I won't miss any games for Gateshead this season without good reason, and when I say that, that's obviously things such as family events or or work or that kind of thing. So with that in mind, I really can't see games at the international stadium being affected this season, and should get pretty much clean sweep of games at the Gateshead this season. It's just maybe one or two away games down south that could be affected. But while there is some long journeys this season, there is some like ones that where the journey maybe isn't so bad as well. Obviously, Scunthorpe coming back into the National League, Carlisle have come down, Morecambe as well. So if anything, maybe the league has got a little bit more northern, which obviously for me is a good thing. It means it means where we're going is a little bit more sporadic, like throughout the course of the season. You don't feel as though you're just in London every other weekend. So yeah, kind of looking forward to that side of it as well. Obviously, as I said, we'll have a little bit of a chat about Gateshead in another video as to how I think we might get on this season and that kind of thing. But this is just for how many times will he appear on this on his channel throughout the course of the season. And there is obviously going to be Gateshead, but plenty of other the general non-league games domestically and that kind of thing. Obviously, there'll still be plenty of room for like Northern League nights, games in the Northern Premier League East Division, Northern Premier League Premier Division, National League North. They're all coming, as well as a few trips up to Scotland as well. Obviously, I'll be doing a fair few well games. Obviously, there's tradition to go to Scotland on Easter Saturday and that kind of thing. So so plenty of of the other stuff as well. Plus as well, obviously throughout the course of the season, there'll be a fair few sort of jumps into the Football League and maybe even the Premier League now, obviously with Sunderland being there. So obviously, your Harrogates, your Doncasters, your Bradfords, Sunderland, Middlesbrough, they'll all be coming throughout the course of the season, as well as maybe one or two new ticks within the within the Football League as well. So last but not least, let's have a bit of a chat about my aims for the season. And obviously, first up, it is I've been realistic with all of them. Obviously, I think the first one is a clean sweep of Gateshead home games, not including the National League Cup. My stance on the National League Cup is very clear, and I'm not willing to change that. But you may be wondering what am I going to be doing about the FA Cup this season, and the answer is I am going to start going to FA Cup games again, but only Gateshead ones. I am still a little bit bitter about the manner in which the changes were made, I'm not going to lie, but I don't really want to take that out on my club. And the thing is, if I don't go to them, I might miss something genuinely special. You never know. It's been this year it'll be 25 years since we last knocked a Football League team out of the FA Cup. If that run was to end, for example, this season, I don't really want to miss it. But then again, it could be something there could be a genuinely good opportunity to go to a ground that wouldn't normally come up in the fourth qualifying or the first round or that kind of thing. So the FA Cup will be coming back, but I genuinely can't see myself missing any Gateshead home games at all this season. Obviously minus the National League Cup, of course, but obviously bearing in mind that Darlington game is away from home in pre-season, it does leave me with a pretty clear run of the home games this season. Of course, there will be as many away games this season as I can possibly do, and quite a few that I'm genuinely looking forward to as well. What's happening with the European trips this coming season? Well, there's quite a few coming up. One thing I do want to do this season is watch a game in France for the first time. You think of it, I've been to the Netherlands several times, but Belgium several times, Germany several times, Italy a couple of times, Spain a couple of times, Portugal a few times, but never been to a game in France, which you'd think is a little bit bizarre. So I want to put that right this season, and there is one trip that I do have in mind for the end of September, start of October. Like you may remember, a couple of years ago, I went out to the continent for match day 2 of the Champions League and Europa League, and I want to do that again this season because I felt as though that really worked. That really went down a treat, like the season before last, and obviously within that trip, I want to do a game in France, then maybe one or two in some of France's neighbouring countries. But I did notice yesterday that Ligue 2 that they play a lot of games on Friday nights. So the format of that particular trip, it will ultimately come down to Gateshead's fixtures. Will like whether we're at home on the Saturday, or whether we're away on the Saturday, because obviously flights to like if we're at home on a Saturday, then I have to go with what like can I get back to Newcastle or Edinburgh on a flight first thing in the morning, still make the game in good time. But if it's away down London somewhere, then it opens up a whole host of options, really, doesn't it? But two grounds that I definitely do want to visit in on the continent this season. One is Parma. Obviously, they featured in the last game of last season at Atalanta in that pretty unbelievable game, and the fans were just absolutely amazing all night. So, and obviously their reaction to the video I made for that game, I'm eternally grateful for. So I really do want to go to Parma this season and experience one of their home games. And the other one is the Mestalla, of course, the home of Valencia. Now, obviously for quite a long time, the San Siro was kind of top of my bucket list, and it turned out a little bit disappointing in my personal opinion. But I think Valencia is probably top of it now, where there is one or two rumours it might be getting knocked down one day. So again, it's one of those that I want to visit before it's gone. Like I don't feel as though there's the same kind of Marmite kind of feel around Valencia's grounds and to what there is at San Siro. Like I've heard a lot of people say they love the San Siro, but on the contrary, I've heard a lot of people say they hate it. But rarely heard a bad word said about Valencia. So definitely want to go to the Mestalla this coming season. And like, will I do another extreme day trip this season? The answer to that question is yes. What I'm kind of hoping for there is that Gateshead's game away to Braintree falls on a Saturday. So obviously, given Braintree sheer proximity to Stansted, what my plan would be to go to that game and go to the airport and just fly out somewhere. Like stay there the Saturday night, then obviously be ready for the Sunday. I know that's kind of not quite an extreme day trip by definition, given that I'd be travelling over the night before, then I'd already be in that said country, and the only flight I'd be doing that day would be the flight back to the UK. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that Portugal one was absolutely knackering. The Karlsruhe one the year before was pretty tiring as well. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking behind that. But in any case, there will be an extreme day trip at some point. Where will that be to? I don't know. It might even go hand in hand with Parma, Valencia, or somewhere in France. But then again, it might be somewhere a little bit different. It might be somewhere in Scandinavia. It might be somewhere in Germany again. It might be somewhere in Switzerland, in the Czech Republic, in Austria. I don't know at this point, and it will ultimately come down to various fixture lists and confirmed date and kick-off times. But in any case, that is definitely among my plans. I've actually obviously on the back of Livingston's promotion, I've actually got the Scottish Premiership completed already for this season by default. So cheers Livingston for that one. But on the subject of leagues to complete, is obviously the Northern League with AFC Newbiggin coming up. All I need to do is just make sure I get there at some point, which obviously I will, and the National League as well. Obviously with Truro coming up with a new ground. I know we visited Truro on the channel in the very early days, but I was to their old ground, Truro Road. So obviously the one Gateshead game, like the one Gateshead away game, I definitely do like fully want to be at this season. It is definitely Truro, and I think that'll be a cracking weekend as well. You know, just got to know it'd be a lot of travelling, but doing it with your best pals and that kind of thing, you really can't go wrong with that. So definitely want to do Truro this season. And as for Motherwell, again, it is a minimum of 3 games, but hopefully throughout the course of the season. I will get to more than that. Unfortunately, this year I can't get to any of the group stage games in the Premier Sports Cup, but the league fixtures come out next week, and I'm sure like something will come up from within those. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Obviously, over the course of the season, there is a chance games can be moved to a Sunday and that kind of thing. So yeah, that'll all work itself out. Then last but not least, in terms of what I want to achieve from this season, and like obviously at the minute, my ground count for all time is on 376. So naturally, by the end of the season, I want it to be on 400. I think I can get to 24 new grounds throughout the course of the season. Obviously, in pre-season alone, I'm getting to 3. Then obviously, completing the National League and the Northern League will take me up to 5. Then obviously the ones I do on the continent as well. So it's highly achievable in my opinion, and I'm going to make sure that I can do just that. But going to wrap up the video here. I know I've waffled on for quite a long time now, but yeah, it was just to outline my channel's intentions for this coming season, and yeah, as I say, over the next couple of weeks, so there will be 1 or 2 other talk videos, not as long as this one, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I just want to get back into the swing of making videos again. So it's been nice to just sit down and be able to do that. But I'll be back. Well, I don't know when I'll be back. Like hopefully some point this week, whenever Gateshead have appointed a new manager, then we can have a proper chat about what it's going to look like going forward for the Heat. But until whenever that is, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.